One thing GeForce Now could really step up in 2025, giving us more of a heads up on the games coming to the platform. The monthly drip feed is fine, but cloud gamers deserve to know when the big ones are dropping, especially when Nvidia's partnerships give us reason to expect some massive releases. So we've put together this list of 14 games we're either 100% sure are coming or feel pretty confident about based on history, publisher trends, and deals we've seen unfold. We'll break down how certain we are for each pick, so you'll know which ones to get hyped for and which to keep on your radar. This list hits everything from Monster Hunter Wilds' open world hunts to Civilization 7's next gen strategy grind. Let's dive in. Yep, Avowed is 100% coming to GeForce Now. Obsidian and Microsoft made that crystal clear during CES 2025. This is Obsidian's answer to the Elder Scrolls and their chance to flex all that RPG mastery they've built up over the years. Set in the world of Pillars of Eternity, Avowed swaps out the top-down strategy for first-person exploration, where you're just as likely to cast a spell as you are to swing a giant sword at something terrifying. Expect a huge world with deep lore, ancient ruins, shady factions, and a plot that'll probably make you question your morals more than once. Oh, and Obsidian loves player choice, so be ready to make decisions that could either save the realm or burn it to the ground. If you like the Outer Worlds' quirky humour but wanted it with swords and sorcery, this is your jam. With Capcom officially cozying up to Nvidia, Monster Hunter Wilds is a pretty safe bet for GeForce Now at some stage in 2025, if not at launch. The Monster Hunter franchise has always been about crafting ridiculous weapons, upgrading your armor, and hunting down increasingly terrifying creatures and sprawling environments. Wilds is expected
This
to
wasn't
round
supposed
out
to happen.
with a more open world feel. Monster encounters. There's even talk of biomes with dynamic changes, meaning you could be tracking a beast only for the weather to turn, making the hunt way harder because of course the monsters don't play fair. If you're the type who loves grinding for the perfect loadout and then flexing it during online co-op sessions, Wilds could be your next obsession, and if it's anything like its predecessors, we're in for some "why is this monster still alive after 30 minutes of me hitting it" moments. Firaxis sneakily added Civilization 6 and Friends to GeForce Now when they announced Civ 7, which feels like a giant neon sign saying, yeah, the new one's coming too. Civilization 7 is poised to expand on everything fans love about world domination, or peaceful cultural growth if that's your thing. While details are still under wraps, the next Civ is rumoured to introduce more customization for your empire, smarter AI leaders who will probably still betray you, and unique win conditions that evolve as you play. If the past games are anything to go by, expect to spend just one more turn trying to outwit both allies and enemies, while your civilization either thrives or crumbles under poor decision making. With the legacy of the Civ series, this one's basically already on people's inevitable addiction lists. Another Xbox Studios title, so it's more or less confirmed for GeForce Now. The Outer Worlds 2 is Obsidian Entertainment's follow-up to their hit RPG, known for its sarcastic humour, corporate satire, and quirky companions. Players can expect more alien worlds to explore, eccentric factions to join or betray, and morally questionable decisions that'll make you pause. With its distinct blend of sharp dialogue, exploration, and character-driven stories, The Outer Worlds 2 is set to double down on everything fans loved about the first game. Ubisoft isn't just betting big on Assassin's Creed Shadows, the entire company's future feels like it's riding on it. Set in feudal Japan, Shadows focuses on two protagonists, Naoi, a ninja skilled in stealth and sabotage, and Yasuke, a samurai who fights with honor and precision. The game emphasizes stealth, parkour, and historical immersion with revamped mechanics that require players to climb using realistic handholds. This shift towards realism and vertical exploration is meant to breathe new life into the series. Originally set for late 2024, Shadows has been delayed to March 2025 to ensure it meets player expectations. After a string of underwhelming releases and financial struggles, Ubisoft is treating this game as a pivotal moment. If Shadows doesn't land as a hit, it could spell deeper trouble for the company's long-term plans. With Killing Floor 2 already available on GeForce Now, we think the third installment will follow suit. Killing Floor 3 takes place in a dystopian future where Zed's genetically engineered monstrosities have overrun the world. Players band together in co-op mode to survive relentless waves of increasingly terrifying enemies while upgrading their arsenal along the way. The third game is leaning into a darker narrative while keeping the core gameplay of brutal, fast-paced combat and intense teamwork. Tripwire Interactive has promised more strategic enemy types, a focus on resource management, and chaotic firefights that test even seasoned players. For fans of wave-based shooters, Killing Floor 3 looks set to be a blood-soaked adrenaline rush that delivers everything players loved from the first two games, and then some. Arc Raiders is already confirmed for GeForce Now, so this one's a done deal. After a few delays, this sci-fi co-op shooter from Embark Studios is finally set to launch in 2025. The game throws players into a post-apocalyptic world where you and your squad take on waves of mechanized invaders using a mix of tactical combat, scavenged equipment, and sheer firepower. The standout feature: the scale of the battles. Massive robots drop from the sky wreaking havoc while you scramble to scavenge resources and figure out how to survive. With its fast-paced third-person combat and focus on co-op strategy, Arc Raiders aims to carve its place among the best multiplayer experiences of the year. Another Xbox Studios title, so it's more or less confirmed for GeForce Now. However, with Xbox's packed lineup this year, including the next Call of Duty, don't be too surprised if this one slips into 2026. The long-awaited reboot of the beloved franchise promises to bring back the quirky charm, moral dilemmas, and offbeat humour that made the original games unforgettable. The world of Fable is known for its whimsical mix of fantasy and satire, where players' choices can turn them into heroic legends or terrifying villains. The new Fable is being developed by Playground Games, best known for the Forza Horizon series, which means we can probably expect an open world filled with rich details and plenty of freedom to explore. If it sticks to the core of what made Fable special, ridiculous side quests, oddball characters, and the ability to kick chickens, it could be one of Xbox's most memorable releases in years. With the original Descenders already on GeForce Now and no more robots being incredibly cloud friendly, Descenders Next feels like an easy win for GFN's 2025 lineup. Descenders Next takes the high-speed, physics-driven chaos of its predecessor and cranks it up with more extreme sports. This time, it's not just about bikes. You can hit the snowy slopes with a snowboard or tear through muddy trails with a mountain board. The game promises open-ended paths, giving players the freedom to tackle the mountain however they want. Multiplayer has also received a glow-up, letting players squad up and take on tracks with friends or randoms from around the world, and the customization system, bigger than ever, with rare gear, branded outfits, and enough cosmetics to keep your rider looking sharp while racking up points to the beats of a Monster Cat soundtrack. With every Tomb Raider game already available on GeForce Now, it's hard to imagine this collection skipping the platform. The Tomb Raider 4-6 Remastered bundle will bring back The Last Revelation, Chronicles, and The Angel of Darkness remastered for a new generation of players. These games marked some of the most ambitious and story-driven parts of Lara Croft's journey, with The Last Revelation set in Egypt, Chronicles revisiting her previous adventures, and The Angel of Darkness taking on a darker, conspiratorial tone. Expect updated visuals, refined textures, and smoother controls while keeping the original platforming, puzzle solving, and exploration that defined classic Tomb Raider. Whether you're a long-time fan or new to the series, this collection should bring back all the tension-filled tomb crawling and puzzle solving that made Lara Croft an icon. Rebellion's Atomfall is heading to Game Pass, and since the studio's past titles like Sniper Elite 4 are already on GeForce Now along with it going to Game Pass, this one feels like a solid bet. Atomfall is set in a dystopian future where rival factions wield powerful technology in a race for control. While much is still under wraps, early reveals suggest fast-paced first-person combat with high-tech weaponry and a setting full of grim sci-fi themes. If Rebellion's track record is anything to go by, expect smart level design, tactical combat, and a mix of stealth and full frontal assault options. Another Xbox game so south of Midnight landing on GeForce Now seems very likely. This southern gothic action adventure from Compulsion Games is set in a mystical version of the American South, where you'll encounter folklore-inspired monsters and mysterious characters. The protagonist wields supernatural powers, hinting at a gameplay loop centered around exploration, combat, and possibly some puzzle solving. Compulsion Games is known for its distinctive style and world building, and South of Midnight looks to continue that trend with a more narrative focused experience. The game's unique tone and eerie setting have generated a lot of buzz, and its potential presence on GFN would give cloud players a chance to dive into a world that's equal parts beautiful and unsettling. With the original Kingdom Come Deliverance already on GeForce Now, its sequel has a strong chance of making the cut. The first game set itself apart with its focus on realism, ditching the usual fantasy tropes for a historically accurate 15th century Bohemia. Instead of dragons and wizards, you had to deal with complex swordplay, hunger, exhaustion, and the occasional political intrigue. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is expected to expand on its predecessor's strengths with an even larger world, improved combat mechanics, and a deeper narrative. Developer Warhorse Studios hasn't revealed much, but if the sequel retains the historical depth and grounded gameplay while refining the rough edges of the original, it could be a must-play for fans of immersive RPGs. Yes, this is happening. Doom, The Dark Ages is taking the franchise into medieval chaos, and it's already confirmed for GeForce Now. Instead of plasma rifles and BFGs, you'll be slaying demons with broadswords, crossbows, and whatever medieval weaponry you can get your hands on. But don't worry, the speed, brutality, and sheer carnage that defines Doom are still front and center. This isn't some slow, methodical sword fighting simulator. It's still Doom, just reimagined with armor-clad warriors battling hellish hordes in ancient castles and cursed dungeons. The setting may be new, but the gameplay loop looks familiar. Keep moving, keep slashing, and don't stop until every demon in the room is dead. If you've ever wanted to know what Doom would look like if the Slayer was born in the Dark Ages, this game has you covered. So there you have it. 14 games we think or know are coming to GeForce Now in 2025. From sci-fi RPGs and monster hunts to demon slaying in the Dark Ages, the potential lineup is stacked. Whether all of them make it or not, one thing's clear: GFN is building momentum, and 2025 could be the year it lands some of the biggest games in the industry. But hey, if we're wrong, we'll blame the delays and pretend it was all part of the plan. Let us know what games you think will hit GFN in 2025, or what you'd rage quit over if they don't.